Hello, everybody. Mike Delacard here with VC Jedi Archives.
Hello, this is Den Jonathan with VC Jedi Archives.
I'm just Bryce, but I'm not an apostate, I promise.
And today we're going to share with you Marvel's Star Wars The High Republic, issue number 6.
Written by Kevin Scott.
With this hottie right here.
Bill Darmack.
Let's see. Oh, shoot. Let's pull up Build Our Map. I'm going to
Has Miller appeared in any of the literature yet? Any of the books yet?
no.
I hope he does.
I know. I hope so, Joe. He's my favorite.
Yeah, I absolutely love him so far.
So this
I
is
would
Star Wars: The
assume
High Republic
he
number
would.
6. This is the main cover, and I love it.
Yeah,
You see him
definitely.
just
Pretty much what he's doing this whole issue is
Yes, 100%. That
using the
cover
Force.
explains his role in this issue to a T.
You know what I like about Vildar Mac is he's not a young Jedi. You know, he's like middle-aged man. I love it.
Yeah, he's like an Obi-Wan past it. Yeah, probably a little bit past episode 3 Obi-Wan.
But
That's a great point, Mike. Because every Jedi we use is this young Jedi who's potentially be the greatest Jedi. All kinds of everyone says they're going to be one of the best, and he's just this grizzled old guy who's got to get it done and the hard way. And I think that's why I really like him a lot. I really
and he's reluctant. He doesn't want to do all this.
Stellan wasn't young. Stellan Gios wasn't young.
Stellan wasn't, but Stellan was pompous. And so I'm not really pompous. So I really
say, and then
no, but Stellan was still in his prime. They were like under 40. This guy's over 40. Stellan was like in his late 20s, early 30s. This guy's in his mid 40s. I would say even 50.
But still a little older, maybe closer to 40, but in his 30s. But yeah, he's in his 40s.
So that's that cover. Here's another cover. This one has Maddie.
That's the one I didn't have.
She's using the Force too. I did not have
this one either.
Lifting stuff up. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this cover a lot.
On Jeddah. Look at that. And then the next cover is a stylized Maddie.
Yes, that's the one that I have.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's Women's History Month variant.
Yeah.
And I like how it has her name. Like some of the other ones have it too.
Catholic, yeah. You mentioned that last time, Jonathan. It's rare to see like the character's name on the cover.
Yeah. I noticed that this series has been doing it. So
this is like the second time that I've noticed. Yeah. Nice. I like the style of art.
It's so raw. It's almost like you could pick it up at like a convention. Like you can have someone draw it for you there. It looks really cool.
And I like kind of like the sabers. It's a thick saber too. I like that. It's not a thin one.
Yeah, you can tell this was hand drawn. Wasn't done with a computer or anything. This is I really like this one.
And this is the last cover, which I don't know who that young kid is. Is that Bill Darmack when he was a kid?
Yes, that's Bill Badar. That's
his memory, right?
The flashback.
Yeah.
And that's the guy from Tund, right? Sorcerer of Tund.
No.
He's the same type of person though.
He's the bad guy that showed up in the village when we first
but he's the same species as the Tund, because that's why when he first saw the Sorcerer of Tund on Jeddah, he wanted to attack him.
Oh,
and they remember because they talk about in the issues how they're ashamed of that in their past, that he was like an evil Tund. And look at his hands.
I have that one too. I do actually have that one.
He's like shooting electricity out of his fingers, just like someone from Legends. Who was shooting in Heir to the Empire electricity out of his finger? Jorah Sabayoth.
Sabayoth. Is it Sabayoth?
I call it Sabayoth. Sabayoth, potato, tomato.
That's a dead ringer. When he's into something that covers the other ones, you see him. That's it. When I will red hair. That's what I pictured. This scraggly old man with powers.
Yeah. Well, he's on the cover too. But I like this cover because it reminds me of like the Mandalorian when Din was a boy being attacked. So flashbacks like that. So it's pretty cool. Which is your favorite cover, Jonathan?
Uh, the art one. And
With Maddie?
yeah.
This one?
Actually, you know what? The other one I don't have. I have three covers. The fourth one is pretty dope. I always love when they're clean. It's not virgin, but it's pretty clean. The bottom of the other one,
Yeah.
Maddie, has no barcode or nothing. No number.
Oh, where she's lifting up the rocks?
Yeah, I
This one?
just love that. It's just got the I don't know label logo, but doesn't say Marvel. Or does have Marvel on the bottom? Doesn't
At the
have it in the
bottom.
top corner.
This is
Very
cool.
non-traditional layout, and so I like that one too.
And what is that the artist's name down here?
It should be, yes.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah, I
Noto
think they
variant.
all
You
have
put
the
his
artist name somewhere written in it. Yeah, all the
Ooh.
other ones say it.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite, Ricey?
That one. That
That one?
that one's my favorite. Yeah, it totally would remind me if there was like if they made High Republic like trading cards, like this would be the
Yeah.
one that they would use.
You know what? This is my favorite.
We know.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Not gonna lie. All right.
This is just a panel, man. That's all this is.
I know. Oh, I didn't read it. So the Battle of Jeddah continues. It's called the day the statue fell. So this is really cool because we have the history of why the Jedi statue is laying on the sand in Rogue One. So we finally find out how he fell. The Battle of Jeddah continues as Tay Sarek defends the Temple of Kyber. Bildar Mek is buried alive, with only his belief in the Force to keep him alive. But Bildar is a Jedi beset by doubts, a man scarred by a past he should have forgotten years ago. Who can come to his aid as the holy city tears itself apart? The Force is with Bildar, but is he one with the Force? So it starts out.
So yeah, this if you remember, we're in the middle of a riot. The
Mhm.
path fabricated so they can break into the vault of the wills or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So
They're looking for the Rod of Daybreak.
Mm-hmm.
yes, and so they instigated a riot. So that's what's going on. They instigated people to tear down the statue, and they were tearing it down as we ended the last
Yep.
book.
And that's where Master Liban and her apprentice were heading towards in the last issue. And where we picked up is the statue coming down and Master Liban escaping.
Right here. Balls.
Well, yeah, actually, Master Lee Bond stays there, and her apprentice. What was her apprentice's name? Olivia. Olivia.
Olivia. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
Spelled
her
funny.
name was on her cover, remember? It said Olivia.
She wasn't. From what I haven't read the next issue on this, but what I'm getting is some Master Levion is hiding something
She's
there.
protecting something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and her apprentice doesn't understand it. I think at the very end, you kind of see some masked fellas heading their way.
Yeah, because Master Liban says she has to stay there and protect it.
Yes.
She's like, guard what? Because Setra's on the ground. They've already knocked it down.
So yeah, and that I think we don't find out anything else for later issues, but yeah, that's kind of where we leave them. But Vildar, our main character, is
Yeah,
just
Maddie's calling for help.
yeah,
Because all of the path of the open hand are about to get crushed under the
Mm-hmm.
crumbling building that's been attacked.
yeah.
And
It's funny because they have this little conversation and they're like talking smack. How can you use the force? He's like, "Are you kidding me? I'm like saving you right now."
Yeah, the one is definitely like this is all your fault, but you can see that uh, and I don't remember if the name is in there, so apologize. But one is like, wait, like he's trying to save us, and
Yeah,
then during the course of this issue, you could see, that individual person from the path of the open hand start believing in Vildar.
mm-hmm.
yeah, and
And
pretty much, yeah. It takes people believing in him for him to just do what he's doing right now. He's struggling. So this is a lot of weight, figuratively and real, on his shoulders right now.
So then he's holding it enough with just a little crack enough for the smallest one of them to
Yep.
scamper through and go get help.
I do like how this issue is you're with one of our heroes and they're inner monologuing, and it kind of shows you what's happening at the exact same time with one of our other heroes. And so it's going from one to another, and kind of like just circling around.
Right, because it started with Maddie, then it goes to Olivia and LeBron, then it goes to Vildar Mac, and then it goes to Chase Surratt. So they're all doing these simultaneous fights all over the place because it's just like chaos.
Yeah,
Chase Surratt's like, I should escape, and he feels guilty because he's not bad.
It's a great way to tell the story from a lot of different angles that are happening all at the same time by having the inner monologue going into like like the next panel where something else is happening with one of our protagonists is I would qualify them as our protagonists throughout this series
from a certain point of view, right? And we get different points of view. So then we have Tesseract, and he finds Feline. I love Feline.
Pretty much helping them defend the whales, the vault, and then once they clear it out, they try to arrest him again.
Yes, he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
But then Scoot shows up, and then this
little ball
part of Maddie's message comes in.
Yes.
And that's when he's like, we need to go. And they're like, well, no one's leaving. No one's getting in and no one's getting out. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is Tay is able to convince them that we need to do something. Like, it's not just about what this is in the temple. It's about the people out in the streets of Jeddah.
And then also we see here, we cut back to Vildar, who was like, he's losing it. It's like, it's taking its toll on him.
This is where he has his flashback, which is pretty much, I think, where he believes. This is why he believes in the Jedi, is because he was saved by the Jedi, which I didn't know. Maybe it said it before. But I didn't know this is how.
I think we're kind of getting pieces. Because I want to say when this individual comes to town the first time, there's a lot of different phases with these flashbacks. It's like one continuous story, but we're getting pieces of it.
This assassin, right? The Tund assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the Jedi who saves him, just like the Mandalorian saved Din when he was a young boy.
Yeah. Good.
He becomes a Jedi, just like...
I'm not sure the Tund assassins, appreciates being compared to a B-1 battle droid, but okay.
Well, he's evil.
Battle droids should be offended because they're not evil. They're just doing their job.
They're just programmed. They're programmed that way.
Very true.
Just like Jessica Rabbit, she's just drawn that way.
Oh, they do say his master's name, Master Larty. I didn't know they said his name, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, that guy looks pretty dope. I was like, I don't know. And I would have loved to see this battle. The Jedi Master, the evil son. I'm like, I want to know more about what's happening there.
Maybe we'll get it. You hear that? Yeah, you hear that, Kevin Scott? We want to see that battle. Give it to us in a TV series.
I'll make sure to tag him. I'll make sure to tag him when the review goes live.
So he's communing with his master.
But this is where everyone starts believing him. Everyone down there goes, "We believe in you," and this is like really kind of.
Well, the one doesn't. The one still doesn't. I don't.
Really, I thought he started.
No, even she does too, because she says the Force. She says Force save us. She's the one that was complaining earlier.
Right, she's saying the Force save us, but she does not agree with him using the Force though to do it.
Yeah, when they all start kind of almost lending him their Force power, which I don't know if has happened before. I guess it has. It happened in the books when they derailed that comet from heading towards that one planet. They're kind of like lending them his Force, and she's like one of the few people that's not saying it. Well, at least there's not a panel with her saying it, but other people are saying, "I am one with the Force. Force is with me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Is how like Tay's in there, and then all the Guardians start saying, "I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me." And then the great thing is they all keep saying, "I'm one with the Force. I'm one with the Force. I'm one with the Force." And then Vildar says, "And the Force is with me," and that's when all the rocks and everything are gone.
Yep, here it is. This is a cool scene right here where they're all saying it,
Yeah.
and then all of their force powers combine to give
Yeah.
Veldar the
None of them are
strength to.
well, Maddie's force sensitive, but the rest aren't. So it's really cool that they could still
Well, but
lend.
they can still commune with the force because
Yeah.
the
So I
force
mean,
is around, so they
in
believe in
Star
it.
Wars, everybody's
Yes,
connected to the force just
right.
at third level. So it's really cool that they could still participate and help out.
Yeah, because Chirrut was. I feel that Chirrut had an extremely strong connection as
Right.
a guardian of the will to the Force.
And he really believed in it, so he didn't need to manipulate it. He just
100%.
believed. So
Yes.
he just believed so much, the force just worked around him. But he could. Here we have it. Once he has the power of everybody, he lifts all the rocks the way Ray did.
Dog.
Yeah, and then um, they were talking about getting the people. The next step was getting the people off the street, and Tay's like, "No, we got to go through the crowd. We need somewhere safe nearby." That's where Vildar steps in and says, "Oh, we have a place nearby."
Let's take them to Enlightenment. They'll be safe
Yes,
in there. It's a
Enlightenment.
refuge. Because remember when they went to Enlightenment,
Yes,
it's like this is a
Isn't it called a
refuge.
sanctuary?
it's a haven
Sanctuary,
and a
yes.
sanctuary.
But it's the Enlightenment bar
Enlightenment is close. Yeah.
with
So
the Twinkle Sisters. I love the Twinkle Sisters. They're so pretty.
But yeah, it just kind of is like,
Here's Kratom, the bug. And he's like, "What are you doing? Don't bring all those people in here. I'm going to close my
did say this
doors."
place was a haven and a sanctuary.
Right.
And right now, we need a sanctuary.
Yep. And so then Kratom has no choice but to let them in.
kind of cuts off right there. I don't think he.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it was a sanctuary, and a sanctuary is
in.
what we need, and they're all there. And that's the end.
Yeah, great one. Vildar he's probably I say Porter Engel's one of my favorite, but I think Vildar is really my spirit animal.
Vildar is my favorite. Hands down.
That's why I wish he was in some books. I really do wish he had a little more
this still got time.
Yep. I need some more Vildar. So Bryce, what do you think?
And this
for me,
he's probably my favorite character in phase 1 so far. Phase 2 it's Vernestro, but I'm really enjoying him. Just who he is. He's not trying to be someone he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely walking that hero's path. Like he kind of didn't want to do it. Like he's just, I'm really enjoying him.
Yeah, and I've read ahead, so I love the way this story is unfolding. It's really good.
I can kind of see. I need to read 7. I have not read 7, but knowing what the title is and can kind of see where this arc is going.
So, how many holocrons do you give it, Bryce?
For me, I would give this a solid 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh. Jonathan?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 too. The only reason why it doesn't get a 5 is there's no real lightsaber battle. There's about to be one, but it doesn't really happen. Any lightsaber battles.
Yeah.
But other than that,
what? I agree. 4.5 holocrons out of 5.
That moment though, so far is one of my favorite moments of the comics. So they're all kind of believing in him. He's like, busted out. I was like, that's pretty dope. So I really enjoyed that.
I can't lie. I give it 5. I love Vildar. He's my favorite. It's 5 holocrons for me. I can't stand it.
I really love how it's like we said, it's rolling into each other's monologue. Yeah. It's really, really good.
Yeah. I loved how it was fast paced too. Going from one character to the other, like really fast. A lot of action, really fast. I think if this were a movie scene or an animated show, it would have been like really fast, rapid fire.
Oh, it would have been. Yeah.
I really think it shows too when we think, from the Blade, with Charles Soule, and we see this written by Kevin Scott, and obviously they were the mad geniuses, part of the mad geniuses behind the High Republic, but you can kind of see like they just get it. Yeah, at this point, it feel like it's so easy to tell a story. Like they can tell a
It,
story and spin it, and everything's going to be connected and just flawless. So yeah, I love when anything from these two are great. I love all of the High Republic stuff, but these two seem to me be a little bit above the others when it comes to the storytelling.
I think
I'm
their
not.
storytelling is even better than Dave Filoni's.
I mean, it's
Because Dave Filoni gets kind of wonky sometimes. I'm sorry.
it's hard, I think, to compare the two because Dave's stories are all on a screen and Charles and Kevin are all written. So
Mm-hmm.
it's two totally different medias, and I think that
That's true.
you know, like it would be tough, like to really say, like, is it better? It's just
I
different.
think you
It's
could be more
different.
riskier in literature as you can.
Yes,
And we've
100%.
definitely seen that. And that's actually why I like the comics more than the books. The books are good, but God, there's a lot of bad stuff happens in the books.
I
It's
know.
a little that's a little can be depressing. And we just
The
saw
books
them.
are a downer right now too. Phase two is not a happy place. So
Yeah, so and the movies, it's very rare where too much bad stuff happens. You kind of have to have that happy ending. So
Well,
it's
the bad stuff is usually like the the gut puncher stuff.
yeah, I mean,
Um, the books like I are great because they allow you to do that, but then there's always redemption within those books. Like it's hard to kind of comics like to really like probably I think it'd be a challenge because a lot of people love the art. People read them because they're quick, they're fun, they're interesting. I think it's kind of hard to write a comic book um, with like such how do I put it, like pure devastation, right? Like if we think about phase one, the three main adult books, like at some point in every single one of those books was just an absolute gut wrenching moment, and in a few couple of
mhm.
them it was more than one.
yeah, I think you can do drama in comics, but it's just because this is more like spin-offs instead of the main story, they
Mhm.
reserve some. I mean, Crisis on Infinite Worlds, DC stuff, drama out the yin yang. So you can do drama. But when these are not the main story, they're supplemental. I do see how it is a little tougher. They do have to be a little more happier ending, stuff like that. Supplemental. So
Well, thanks again for joining us here on VC Jedi Archives. And Bryce, close it out.
Yes, check out our three Facebook pages that we're all a part of. That is the Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025. And we have Star Wars Book Nerds and Star Wars Comic Book Club.
And may the force be with you.
always.
May the force be with you.